So we are working with a small Gucci belt today. Now our previous video, it was a big one. Now this one is actually a small one. Female slides always come with small Gucci belts, yeah. So this is it. I got like 3 pairs of it because I have a customer who needed like 4 pairs of and Gucci designs. Now these are the fancies that you can make use of. Yeah, so this is the big one while we have the small one. The length of the small one is like an inch while the length of the big one is 1.5. Now these are designs you can walk around with. Yes, now this is the big Gucci belt, the big Gucci belt, but the previous one is the small Gucci belt. Now we are making use of the small Gucci belt. That's like one an inch, yes, while the big one is like 1.5 for your slipper slide. So you need 4 of it, and the measurement is like 7.5. I'm using or 7, but it depends on the size of the footwear you are making use of. Now if you are making use of a 38 footwear, you don't need like 7.5. I think a 6.5 will be fine for the measurement. So what I'm doing here is that I had already applied gum on the Gucci belts, and I applied gum on our faceless. We have a tutorial on how you can do this one. So what you are doing here, you are just cutting it all through. You just take your time and cut it. Now when you are done cutting it, please don't forget to dye the edges. Dyeing the edges is very important. Don't forget to dye your edges, because dyeing your edges make your work looks neater. So don't forget to dye your edges. Now when you are done dyeing the edges, you will just I think it's just, you just cut the tip of it, you turn it over and cut the other one. So as seen in the video, just do it exactly that way and you are almost done with your pattern. Now in getting the wrap for the pattern, it should be accordance with the fancy you got. Now we are using a Gucci fancy as well, because that is what she asked for and that is what we are going to do. Now this is the Gucci fancy we are using. You just make sure the length is accordance with the fancy you got. Now it can be, I'm using a 10 inches fancy, sorry, I'm using a 10 inches length for the fiance I got. In getting your fiance, you are getting a light fiance so that it will pull through and sew very easily. They have thick fiance and they have soft fiance or light fiance. So I am going for a light fiance because I want it to sew quickly, and I don't really want to have an issue while sewing, because my daughter machine has an issue, so I'll be using a manual one for now. So having a light fiance will be really helpful for me. But I will advise you, if you are making use of a hard fiance, to go for a lighter one. It will be very easy for you. So after applying your gum and allowing it to dry, you place it at the middle. Please don't forget, at the middle of the 10 by 10, you are placing it at the middle. Allow it to dry, then you are sewing that part. Now when you sew that part, you place the opposite side into your Gucci fancy as seen in the video. Can you see that? Now if you have a question, please, I'll be happy to show you a video of it all over again. Now this is it. I had already applied gum on it so it will just stick through. So that's it. This style is not difficult at all. Now if you don't have a sewing machine, you can actually hand stitch. There's a video on how you can hand stitch. So what you are doing is you just apply your gum, then use your pipe. There is a transparent pipe and there's a black pipe that you can make use of. So you just cut 1 inch of your pipe, then apply gum on this allowance that you left. Allow it to dry, then stick it through together. Like I said, 1 inch pipe is totally fine. You don't need more than that. 1 inch pipe is totally fine. Yeah, so while I am cutting that, I am also allowing our light fiance to dry. Now when it dries, you are just placing the two tips together. Don't forget, you are placing those two tips together, then cut the edge so that when you are fixing your pipe, it will not be so difficult for you to do. And guys, that is it for this pattern. Easy peasy, and it's the trendy pattern. So that is for our Gucci slide and our ready-made belts. See you in my next class, guys. Bye.